Hello there. You want to live by design and not by default? Well, let me ask you this. Are you addicted to stress? Let's explore this question. My name is Oksana Esberard, and I'm Chief Meditation Officer at Sattva Me. In my past life, I was a stressed hospitality professional and sales professional, looking for ways to elevate ever-rising anxiety. And I was doing many things outside of work, like yoga and exercise, and I would go on vacation, all the normal things that you would do as well. However, it didn't cross my mind to bring certain techniques and elevate the level of stress that I was handling at work and handle it at work. Throughout my mindfulness journey and meditation journey, I spent more than 3 months in Indian Himalayas. I completed mindfulness-based stress reduction program, Transcendental Meditation Hong Kong. I am certified meditation and yoga instructor. And it took me many years to realize that I was in fact addicted to stress and bring all those tools that I was learning and not use them on my day-to-day life outside of work, but actually bring it to work. Let's explore, what does it mean? Everything is energy. That has been proven by quantum physics already. And we eat, sleep, and exercise in order to gain energy. And then we spend it on our work activities, life, and everything that we do. However, modern world environment has way higher demands of energy than we supply it with food, nutrition, and exercise. And in fact, when most people are on the deadline or they have a lot going on in their life, what do? They cut on sleep, we eat not so well, and we kind of cut on exercise. So what happens is that there's no lack of energy anywhere in the universe. So we need to get the energy from somewhere. And stress became a to-go tool by many business professionals and people all around the world to get that extra energy resource. Remember yourself the last time when you were on the deadline, frustrated, angry, when you had a challenging situation in front of you. Were you sluggish and sleepy, or were you quite energized? You were strong. You had a lot of juices flowing through you. And that's what stress does to us. It gives us that source of energy. The challenge there is that the source wears out, and also it brings countless of negative effects. It's not sustainable energy resource, and eventually people turn into coffee, alcohol, drugs. They're angry all the time, and eventually we get sick and we burned out. And that's what happened to me personally. When we are pushed over our limits and our immune system completely cannot handle it anymore. Allow me to illustrate how stress works, and I would invite you to do it with me so you kind of have a little feeling. Clench your fists very tight, hold them strong. And I would invite you, this is you under stress. You're strong, you should feel something. If you clench them tight enough, you should feel how you have a little bit of the strength and the rush through your body. And I would invite you not to let go of your fists and spend the rest of the day like this. I feel smiles because every time when I do it in my workshops, people start to smile and this is stupid, right? Well, this is what we do to ourselves under stress. We definitely deplete our ability to be productive and more efficient, and also the quality of life. I mean, imagine holding your cell phone and doing everything like this. But that's how stress affects us. You can let go of your fists now. I would like to invite you to explore, what is that your to-go tool? What are you reaching out in the moments where your energy demand is higher than the energy that you have? Think about that question. And once you get the answer, for example, I was constantly angry. Anger was my tool to go. I wasn't really responsive to coffee, obviously helping a little bit with alcohol to decompress at night. But during the work hours, you just have that constant dissatisfaction, and I had that, and anxiety levels that will keep you going. While you're answering the question, what is your recharge to go tool? Let me introduce you some tools that are great energy resources and we don't really use them in the work environment. And yes, I'm talking about mindfulness. We live, like I mentioned before, in a never-stop world. And by that I mean, imagine a runner. A runner comes to run a marathon or a sprint. And he or she comes to the start line and he hears the command, ready, and usually kneel or you start to preparing your body. You hear the command, set, and you lower down, your body gets tense, your mind is ready to go and release all that build up energy. But then the command go never comes. It's like ready, set, ready, set, ready, set, ready, set. That's how we live nowadays in the modern business environment. There's constant stimulation, there's constant demand, there's constant something. So when I talk about stress is not a bad thing on itself. It's the lack of recovery that we're missing and that turns us to spin our wheels faster than we could handle or that is more productive to do. So when I talk about mindfulness as antidote of stress, there are certain techniques that allow you to pay attention to what is already your resources are, like your body, your breathing, your conscious mind, and apply those resources to recharge, to become more aware, and simply to improve the quality of your work and life. So let's explore one tool of mindfulness. Since in the moments of stress, our bodies get tense. That is just a physical manifestation of stress. If you use your body, if you learn to understand where is that you're storing the stress in the body, you can mentally send the signal to relax, and that automatically will put you in a different state of mind. You are capable of changing your physical, mental, and emotional state at will just by bringing awareness there. Obviously, if there is any physical alteration where you need to go and see physical practitioner, but I'm talking about just day-to-day stress, where we tight our shoulders, where we move forward, where we hold stress in our hips. For example, for me, I always hold tension in my belly, and I know that already. So when I am under stress, I am just making it soft and I am relaxing it consciously. So the great tool, if you kind of now thinking back, I'm like, I have no idea where I'm storing. The great tool is a simple body scan. You start to scan your body gently from the bottom of your feet to the crown of your head, and you notice the difference between this is tense, this is relaxed. So when you're starting the body scan, assume that each part of your body is tense, and then mentally choose to relax. And by doing it a few times, let's say spread it out throughout the week or the month, you will start to understand. But also it's just bringing your awareness to the fact that your body is an amazing communication tool to let go of certain stress responses that we trained ourselves to step into. A lot of people pretend like they don't have bodies anymore. We're so much in our heads that it's almost like the head and then the legs, and we just keep producing and performing all inside our mind. So step outside of your mind and start paying attention a little more to your body. And what it also opens up is an opportunity to be present. When we are present, we can meet together our conscious and subconscious behavior. If you are not present, if you are in the past or in the future, you are basically driven by your habitual patterns and behaviors that you learned when you were a kid. I talk about it in more details in my workshops. We don't have time to cover it all in detail, but being present affects the quality of your work and life, and only in the present moment you have the opportunity to design the life you want and design the responses and respond versus react. So that's a huge deal in itself. So what else that is present that we can use? Our breath. Our breathing is constantly present. The length and the depth of our breathing has the capability to affect our nervous system. Yes, you have the capability through your breath to down-regulate or up-regulate your nervous system. I can tell you with 99% degree certainty that modern business professionals or modern Western society is very stimulated in our nervous system. So generally, I would say that down-regulating the nervous system is what we all could use some more of. And there are wonderful breathing techniques out there that you can look up, and I will share some on my website as well. So there are certain things that you can do, but start small. Remember that we're in the moments of stress, we're holding our breath. Our breathing becomes shallow. So if you just consciously remember to exhale, consciously, just take a full exhale, and then that will prompt you to take a deep inhale. So you are exhaling until you can no longer exhale, hollowing your belly, and that will allow you to take that deep inhale. There is a rhyme that I put together: when under stress, take 6 deep breaths. Scientists have calculated that it takes on average 6 deep breaths for an average person to downregulate the nervous system. When we are under pressure, when we are at work, when we're busy, and just the feeling of overwhelmed, busyness, frustration, there's not enough time. If you constantly say to yourself, there's not enough time in a day, that means you are stressed, because a non-stressed person does not have that thought in their head. So if there's not enough time in a day for you, you have never-ending to-do list, that means that you could use some of these techniques. So when you're in that moment, take 6 deep breaths. What will happen is that you will downregulate your nervous system. You will come from your amygdala, which is the stress response, to the prefrontal lobe, and the prefrontal cortex is the human part of the brain. That is the part that differentiates us from any other animals on earth. And that is where your creativity, your intuition, your deep learning, and all the things that you want to bring to design into your life, that's where it resides. So just by controlling your breathing deep and slow on purpose will allow you to bring your awareness and control to the human part of the brain, so you can really respond and not react to whatever situation you are given. I know from experience, though, that it's easier said than done to pay attention on purpose, to become aware. Because to focus and pay attention is actually a skill, and it's a trainable skill. In today's world, we are trained to distract. There are so many stimuli here and there, including starting with our cell phone and all the technology. So we almost need to retrain ourselves to pay attention and to focus. And there is an amazing tool that you can do yourself anywhere, anytime, which is meditation. Meditation is the foundation of your ability to have self-awareness and to be able to shift that awareness on demand, but it does require training. The meaning of the word meditation, it means to be familiar with, to be familiar what are your unconscious behaviors and make them conscious. That is the definition of design and creation for me. So the basic principle of meditation is that you can do it anywhere, anytime. And all you need is just the simplest technique and start there. There are many apps nowadays that people usually ask me about. What is the best app? How can we start? I say that try several apps. There are different voices, different tonalities. Find what is pleasant for you and use that for a little bit. However, understand that any digital device or any tool or guided meditation is just a tool for you to help establish the practice and the training of meditation. For example, creating 10-minute practice daily at a specific time. And apps can be absolutely amazing tools to help you to sit down at that particular time, put on your headphones, and just do it. However, after a period of time, if you don't let go of that tool, it's going to become a crutch, because you need to pay full attention and awareness on yourself, with yourself, in stillness and silence, in order to take advantage, in order to take full advantage of what meditation can offer to you. So find any apps. There's Headspace, Breeze, Calm, 10% Happier. There are really so many of them now. Find the one that works for you. But I would encourage you to also try meditating by yourself. The simplest technique is to pay attention to your breath. you're quieting your mind, and then you're slowly inhaling and exhaling, slowing down your breathing. Just first take a few deep breaths so you downregulate your nervous system. And then as your breath quiets down, start to pay attention to your natural rhythm of breathing. Not breathing on your own, but rather noticing how the breathing happens, the inhale and exhale. And as you get into the flow of that, you bring your awareness to the prefrontal cortex, to the middle of your forehead. And it's almost like rolling your eyes inward, like you would look into your forehead, but you will do it with the eyes closed. And that will stimulate the prefrontal cortex, so you're training that focus and attention. And don't be deceived by the simplicity of what I'm saying to you, because I am 100% sure that intellectually you understand and you say, oh, I know, it's so easy. Try it. It's way more challenging to do than to understand how it's done. Understanding is easy. Doing it and practicing and bringing it into your work and day life, that is a total different game. I spent more than 10 years with these techniques, and I still can tell you that I have rooms to go and improve on. With meditation, as I was saying, the best part is like the training of your mind. Consider it a brain gym. Just like you would go to the gym and train the muscles. It's not that you went once to the gym and now you have six-pack for life. You need to keep the muscles toned. Well, in the brain, we actually create neuropaths and neuroconnections. In order to keep them stable, you need to practice them, you need to exercise, and that is the remembrance. That's why meditation or any mindfulness techniques, they work on a cumulative basis and they accumulate benefit over time. There must be consistency, and that's why I would recommend you to create a schedule for yourself. For example, choose specific time when you want to meditate, when you want to do breathing techniques. I always suggest to tie it up to something existing. For example, you just woke up and you meditate immediately, or you just arrived to the office and that's the first thing that you would do. Before lunch, before starting to take food, take 6 deep breaths, and that will allow you to downregulate. And instead of swallowing that lunch and not even knowing what you ate and not nourishing your body, slowing down and eating on purpose and understanding. And by the way, if you do that, you might even discover that the foods that you've been eating for a long time are not nourishing for you. So you're kind of starting to stacking up the effects of mindfulness and meditation. I work with companies all over the United States and leaders and executives in order to install these practices at work. If you take the stress on and you eliminate many of its side effects where you produce it, which is the work environment for most of us, then the quality of your performance, your communication, and just general well-being skyrockets. If you are part of the team or a business owner of the company that would like to explore these tools further, please give me a call, contact me. If you have any questions about anything that I have said, I would be happy to connect with you and explain and discuss further what I just was able to communicate very, very briefly today. Please connect on social media. I have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the website www.sattva.me. It's sattva.me. I would be happy to hear from you on different channels, and please don't take my words on everything that I said. Try these tools. A few minutes go a long way. The key here is consistency. Thank you everyone for watching. My name is Oksana Esberard and I'm Chief Meditation Officer with Sattva.me.